Hello, and with the 4 rings collected, all we have to do is return to the city, hand them over to Yargo, and I'm sure everything will be hunky-dory. Now, before entering the city, I would recommend you do a bit of levelling up. You can see here I've got my party around level 18 here. Now, as for Jekai, you can see I've got blunt weapons up to 10, very important. Critical hit is, up to 10. And heavy arms is up to 8, which means he'll be able to equip some decent weapons. Now, we can learn heal, so he's somewhat of a paladin now. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough points to level that up. But yeah, next time he levels up, heal is definitely getting some love. Now, as for Fleece, I've leveled up Backstab and also Trip to about 7, and those are her 2 key abilities. Particularly for the next part of the game, Trip and Backstab will be very useful. Although what's a pity is that magic resist is only 1, which, yeah, she's pretty frail to begin with, so I really want to level that skill up. Now, as for Rosaline, yep, I got critical hit up to 10. Not 100% sure if that will be good for Rosaline, but I think it was worth a try anyway. Magic resist got leveled up, and yeah, at this point I'm pretty just leveling up her spells. Yeah, Rosaline's pretty simple character to level up. Her skills are pretty much obvious. Now, as for Joseph, I've leveled up heal to 10, magic resist to 7. So now we enter the city, and oh dear. Looks like somebody forgot to build the lighting. But yeah, you talk to Pedrog here and he'll fill you in on the situation. And apparently something has hit the fan, because the Aurelians have invaded the city and took over the place. And you won't believe who betrayed us. That evil prince, the one that wore black, had a little moustache, and essentially talked like a villain. Yeah, turns out he was a villain. Who would have seen that coming? Well, Pedrog wouldn't have seen it coming if it came from the right side. An eye patch joke. That was just stupid, I'm sorry. Yeah, but our mission is still the same, to find Yargo. And here we go, yep. We're going through the sewers yet again. Oh, and I swear the developers must have a fetish for these sewers, because we go through them numerous times. In fact, more times than we really should, if I'm honest. But yeah, now on the sort of outskirts here, we will find a numerous set of merchants. Potions, weapons, armour. And I would say you should go through them all and just, and stock up essentially. You can see here I've got my fair share of healing items. Particularly in the next part, because there's a part coming up where you won't be able to heal using magic. So it's worth getting quite a few of these. And I guess, bulk up on your magic as well, just in case. Now Durgan's here, I talked to him again. I can't really tell him much more about the side quest, but yep, he's still waiting here. He's one dedicated sailor, I must say. Yeah mate, the city's under siege. Just forget your lucky charm and sail, okay? Find a 4-leaf clover. Or a rabbit's foot. And I must say, I really like how Linnell looks at night, and it's a much welcome change in aesthetics. But yep, we have the armor vendor here. Now I notice here he's selling steel gauntlets for 20,000 gold coins, and my advice to you is don't buy them, because you'll probably pick up a couple in the sewers. And here we also have the shields. Now, something FAQs have told me about this game is that shields are pretty useless. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do end up equipping some later on. I'm not sure if they make a huge difference, but oh well. At least I tried. And again, when it comes to these sewers, I have to ask the developers, did they intend to use the sewers this many times? Because, yeah, this game feels rushed at some points. And I can't help feeling maybe they intended for there to be another way into the city. But, yep, going around this corner here gives us a entrance to these sewers. But I'll give them some credit, at least for going through the opposite direction. It does give you an impression that the sewers isn't just like a level, it's actually a passageway from one part to the other. And here's a cool summon, the Red Minotaur. I love this, he summons an axe out of fire. Now the Red Minotaur, he's pretty much a brawler. I would say it's a shame that he uses an axe, but then again I think an axe is useful against these sort of enemies we'll find here. One of which being the Gorgons, these sort of three-headed dragons you can see here. Now the Minotaur, he does have a few combos here. I would say he's a generally good brawler. So yeah, he's useful. Not super duper useful or extremely, but yeah, he's appreciated. A bit slow, and I must say it is cool to have a Minotaur. And in fact, I remember if you have an actual PS2 copy of the game, the Minotaur appears on the back. You know, it's let the developers know that, you know, he's a pretty cool guy. Oh, and there we go, steel gauntlets. The Gorgons give us steel gauntlets, so yeah, I just saved myself 20,000 gold coins there. Now, I guess what's a pity is the fact that the Minotaur does have an axe. It'd be good if we could switch him to a blunt weapon or a sword weapon. I don't know the workings of how this game is programmed, like which type of weapon would be best? A slashing weapon, a blunt weapon, or a piercing one? I mean, I know the blunt one is the best because there are so many enemies that are weak to blunt. But is the axe really decent? I want to say no, really. Yeah, just stick with blunt. You can go that way, but not quite. We want to leave the sewers from another entrance first. Yep, before we actually go into the city to find Yargo, we need to go to Tangrid's Haven. Yep, unfortunately our friendly neighbourhood golems are now gone, so a lot of places are closed off. I just thought Joseph can summon golems. I guess something I never tried is summoning a golem, playing as the golem and trying to move the wheels to lift up the gates. And I would guess that you wouldn't be allowed to do that. But, you know, that'd be really cool if we could lift up the gates and then enter the palace right now. And then finish off the evil usurper to the throne, instead of waiting for later. But, there you go, and look at all the red Bashoites. Now again we do have the regular Bashoites, the Bashoit Shaman. Although what's a shame is that because the city's changed now, we can't really sell the Bashoit tails to grind some money. Now before you enter this place, you'll lose Jakar and Rosalind. So what you want to do is actually unequip any useful jewelry they have, because yeah, you want to keep them for the party members you'll actually be using. Which is a shame, but honestly, in an RPG like this, I was expecting there to be a point where they sort of take away your party members. It's just the standard, really. Yep, thank you, Rosalind. I'll take that and that, and I'll take your hair clips too, and your boots, and your clothes, and your motorcycle. Ah, your majesty. And here we have the queen. And unfortunately King Bellius has passed away. Which actually kind of has some sad connotations when you find out who exactly King Bellius is to one of our party members. But we'll find that out later on. Queen Galien here. You know, I'm sure she's really upset about the loss of her husband. Yep, I'm sure she's really torn up about it. But yeah, we'll find we'll meet her later on as well. Unfortunately, Yargo does have a plan. But first we need to speak to Tangred, who's of course, I'm sure as you remember, is Fleece's adopted father in some ways. Now, if you talk to this guy here, Gus. Now, the good thing about Gus here is that he'll buy anything off you, so it is a good time to unload anything to earn some money. Because once we're done with the city, it's a pretty... there won't be any decent shops for a while. So I'm just cycling through my weapons here, and yep, I sell any ones I don't need, and also these jewellery items, as well as these precious gems. So like I said before, selling items is the best way to get money in this game. And I say that because even up until the later point of the game, you only get maybe 100 gold coins from enemies. And spoilers, you do need 500,000 to complete a specific side quest. But here's a dramatic scene. Now, when I look at Tangred here, he does seem like a character that should have his own cutscene, because you can tell he has a unique model. And again, I have to wonder, yeah, this game was rushed. They left out quite a few parts here and there. But here comes a very sad and tragic confession. Yep, turns out Fleece's mother wasn't a prostitute. She was a mysterious woman who Tangred murdered. And you can probably guess that does come into play later on. And I guess it's a shame there aren't more scenes where the characters discuss their backstory in this game. Because honestly, I think they could have been fleshed out a bit more. Yeah, but maybe I'm thinking of Japanese RPGs where they tend to have a lot of talking scenes. But then again, this game could have done with a few more, I would say. Because Fleece, she's an interesting character with an interesting backstory. And I'm, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad per se. It's just, you know, maybe you could have done with a bit more, I suppose. Because there are story arcs and character development, but could have been done a bit more in depth with each one. And I just mean more cutscenes, more dialogue, just to. I love that line there. What about me and Fleece? You are talking to Fleece. But yeah, he's telling us to go to the temple to carry out an epic plan. And yep, we've just lost 2 of our party members. Thanks, game. Oh, and by the way, I like how the game didn't tell you that. So yeah, if you didn't unequip your jewellery, you would have lost them forever. Yeah, thanks, game. But yep, you can't guess where we're going now. That's right, back to the sewers. But I think at this point I'll sort of you know, just look through the items Joseph and Fleece have. Like, for example, give them some of the better items I took off Joseph and Jakar. And if you're wondering, of course we get to see those other those two party members again. And I'll finally give Fleece a shield here. Yeah, it's only. It just occurred to me she's holding a dagger, so she can hold a shield as well. Silly me.